Never overlook the power of simplicity. Robin S. Sharma. My friends, we keep it simple here each and every day. I'm back from my travels in Europe. Thank you for putting up with me with a couple of the shows being late. Again, I was traveling all around and was having a little bit of trouble with the internet until I figured it out and was able to get super high speed. But I appreciate it. Had a great trip. I am back recharged, ready to go. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are mixed for the day as we wrapped up the week, get ready for the new week. We have bonds, gold, Bitcoin all up substantially on Friday. Let's first jump into the S&P 500. How did we end the week? Well, Friday was down a little bit. You can see it's interesting as you look at it. Things boomed up on Friday morning, then pulled back in the afternoon. We had lots of energy in the morning, lots of volume, and just below average in the afternoon when it rolled over. 0.29% down is what it was. Didn't quite get up to average volume, actually the same as last week. We did end up getting a doji for the week, which means lots of indecision and the energy there on the volume. I look at the volume as energy. I look at price as, again, showing us some of the investor mood, and then energy by the volume shows you the commitment to that. And we can see that we are sitting right there on the weekly trend line. Same on the 2-day. That's just for Friday. That'll finish drawing on Monday. And of course, we had things. They moved down starting on Tuesday. Remember, it was that shortened trading week because of Labor Day. Down strong on Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning up, and then pulling back. So we'll see where we go the next week. Now, the NASDAQ, in opposition to the S&P 500, was up 0.83%. Again, lots of movement in the morning with extremely high volume. Look at that volume. I don't see it going back, many months did we have that much volume on the NASDAQ 100 shooting up and then pulling back in the afternoon, again, only up 0.14%. Now that's 0.14%. Ended with a red doji, first red down candle we have seen since the week beginning the 7th of April. We are now significantly below the prior trend line. We don't have a whole lot of commitment there, but we do have a doji and we have all that volume. For those of you who haven't taken my volume training, we take it from the book. If you don't have my book, the way you can get it is to become a Patreon member. That's one of the first things you get along with our 3-part series, Options Made Simple, The Charting Wealth Way. It's the only way you get my book, 3-Wave Trading Advantage. It is my latest book, and it is available for you. And that only costs at the minimum $30 a month to become a Patreon supporter. Now, as we look, we see lots of volume in the morning, still above average volume in the afternoon where things pulled back. We see on the 2-day chart a green candle. Now, again, it was not up a great deal, but as we look at what happened for the week, that red doji tells us a lot. Does it mean that the NASDAQ is going down for sure? It does not, but it does give us some hints as to the inherent weakness of what has been going on. And no matter how you connect the dots here, it is well below the weekly trend line. So we'll be paying close attention over the course of this next week as to a potential pullback in the NASDAQ 100. Now, what about bonds? Okay, we're waiting for some commitment from bonds. We had bonds go up for 3 weeks, starting the 21st of July, following through the 28th of July and the 4th of August. Those are all Mondays because that's the way we track our weeks with the first day. Then we had the 3 dojis where things were trending down. And then look at how we ended the week with this strong 1.52%. Look at that candle on Friday morning. I mean, there's not a candle. We can't go back and find a candle that huge. And then followed up in the afternoon. Look at all the volume. Look at the 2-day candle. Just the first day, the latest 2-day candle, right there at average volume already. Crazy. things turning around and moving up strongly. Now, I would think that that follow through would probably be occurring over the course of this next week as we move higher. Of course, Patreon members do take a close look at your trade execution summary grid and the 5-day plus ETF trading analysis and execution plan. Again, with the numbers, things can be lagging, but again, just pay attention as we may very well see bonds turning around. What do we see going on with gold? Well, gold has just continued its relentless assault. Pulled back on Thursday, shot up again on Friday, 1.33%. Going into the second week of up movement, gold reaching higher highs, just striving. Look at all the volume there. On the 2-day, almost up to average volume on the first day of the latest 2-day candle. So again, gold going long and looking beautiful. Bitcoin going up some, but not enough energy, 1.67%. Again, that's not a lot for Bitcoin. Up in the morning, pulling back in the afternoon. Lots of volume in the morning, but tempering that in the afternoon. Not pushing through on the weekly trend line on the 2-day chart, nor on the half-day. And of course, we ended with a red down candle and didn't even have average volume for the week. And again, maybe half, not even close, not even halfway to the average volume on the first day of the latest 2-day candle. So Bitcoin still has that overall mood of pulling back, of bearishness. That is where we are as we end the week. A lot of exciting things to pay attention to as we jump into the new week. With the S&P 500, which way is it going to go? With the NASDAQ showing a lot of indecision, tending down, with 20-year U.S. government bonds pounding up, gold pounding up, and like we said, Bitcoin still in a bit of a down mood. That is where we are. I am back. I will be here in the States bringing you the show each and every day over the next many, many weeks. And again, thank you for putting up with me with some late editions as I was traveling around Europe. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.